Hi everybody, so in this video I'm going to be going over the basics on how to use Adobe Premiere to edit your videos. These should be the clips that I provided for you, so first things first, you're going to download these. Once you download those, you're going to go ahead and open up Adobe Premiere. Alright, so here we are in Adobe Premiere. First things first, you'll notice the interface is kind of similar to any of the other Adobe programs we've used so far. We have a new project and an open project button because we haven't used Adobe Premiere yet for anything. We are going to be clicking new project to start one up. Now you always want to give your project a name, so I'm just going to write test demo. This right here determines the location where all of your Premiere files are going to end up when you save them, so you can change it, but for now I'm happy with it landing in the documents file, so I'm going to just click OK. Alright, so once you open up Adobe Premiere, this is the screen that you're going to get. You're going to see that it by default opens up in the Learning tab. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to switch to the Editing tab, and it's going to change your screen up a little bit. Now, really quick, I just want everybody to follow along with this. You're going to go up to the Windows menu at the top, and you want to make sure that two specific things are checked off. You want to make sure that effects is checked off. Right now I do have effects checked off, so I'm not going to click it. And then you also want to make sure you have essential graphics checked off. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to get started. So the first thing that we have to do to start editing on Adobe Premiere is bring our footage into Adobe Premiere. So right now we're working with just stock video, and you'll be able to find it up in your Finder. So your Finder is that little face. We've talked about him plenty. That's where you find your downloads folder. And I happen to have these 3 videos right here. What I can do is, one at a time, I can drag it into this box on the bottom left corner of Adobe Premiere right here. And then you'll see that they kind of just show up as you drag them in. Or you can select all of them at once and drag them in as well. Okay, now that we're done with that, we can get started with actually editing. So we've just successfully brought our media or our footage into our media browser. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drag some of that footage into our timeline. So right next to our media browser is our timeline, and what you do is, first of all, you want to preview your footage. So for example, if you have multiple clips that kind of look the same thumbnail-wise, you might want to preview it before you actually drag it in. So what you would do is you would double click it, and you would notice that the preview would come up on the top here right above the media browser. This isn't our project, this is just a preview. If you want to drag this footage into the project, you're going to click and drag it into your timeline, which is right here, and there we go. Now, I know I had us open up the Essential Graphics panel, but I am going to close it for now just to make sure that we have plenty of space to see our timeline. Okay, cool. So now, yeah, this is a timeline, and basically the way it works is it's just kind of like a visual sequence of all your clips and how they overlap and how they interact with each other. Once you drag a clip into it, you'll actually see the timeline and all these different kind of layers. Now, over here, you'll see the selection tool, which I'm sure you're familiar with. You can also click V on your keyboard to get to this, and with this tool, you can do a couple things. You can click and drag your footage to move it around. What you can also do is hover over the ends of the footage, and you'll see this little red bracket with an arrow coming out of it, and when you click and drag that, it allows you to shorten the clip or lengthen the clip to the maximum length. To see how long you actually want a clip, you're going to want to play the clip, obviously, on the timeline. You can do that by either pressing the play button right here on the project preview or clicking space. Space works as a play or pause button, so that's good to know. So now I want to point your attention over to the media browser again, because you're going to see it kind of made a duplicate of your footage, and the reason why is because there's 2 different versions of your videos. There's one version that you just kind of brought into the media browser, but then there's the version that's in your sequence, in your project, right? So this is our sequence that we're working on editing. So don't be alarmed by a duplicate. Okay, so now I'm going to click and drag my palm tree video over here. Now, this clip is a little bit different because you'll notice it actually has some audio attached to it. I believe this video doesn't actually have audio, but I guess video is a little bit different than the other one because whoever made the video never deleted the audio, so it's just kind of a blank track. But don't be alarmed by that, just know that is what that is. Now, another thing I want to point out to you guys real quick is this little blue bar right here. They call this the playhead, and you'll notice as you move this blue little square around, this blue square moves around, and also this number moves around. And this number determines where the playhead is positioned on the timeline. So if you want to cut a clip to a certain length, all you have to do is move your playhead to that point. So let's say I want to move it to 30 seconds. I could just type it in here if I wanted to. Just so you know, this says 31 seconds right now. It gets a little bit confusing, but that is 30 seconds. Okay, so now I'm at 30 seconds. So let's say I want to cut my palm tree video to exactly 30 seconds. Obviously, it's not 30 seconds the whole clip, it's just going to the 30-second mark of the project. So now we've successfully done that. This makes the overall clip look a little bit small, so this is a good opportunity to explore this bar right here. So this bar allows you, it's almost like your scrolling bar, like when you're on a browser and you're scrolling down, except it's obviously horizontal, it's not vertical. And so it allows you to drag yourself through the timeline, but it also allows you to click and drag these little circles, which it doesn't change the length of the clips, but it changes the size of them and the size of the overall timeline so that you can see the clips a little bit better. So sometimes you might want to do that if your clips are looking a little bit small. Alright, so we want to drag our last clip in right after the palm tree. And this time I want to show you another little editing trick. We're not going to be using the selection tool this time. What we're going to be using is the razor tool. So the razor tool is the fourth tool down. It looks like a little razor blade. You can also click C on your keyboard to get to it. So I'm going to go at 35 seconds. We're going to make it nice and even. Okay. And now I want you to watch what happens. Basically, there's a little dotted line, and that shows where you're going to be cutting the clip. And essentially what it does is, let's say you want to cut like a specific part of a clip out, right? Like you have a whole clip, but there was just like a little bit of a hiccup in the middle. This actually allows you to cut one part of a whole clip out. So what you can do is you click, and then it cuts that area. And so now I'm going to move my playhead over a tiny little bit, and then hover over again, and click again. So obviously I haven't completely removed that area yet, but what I do is now I go back to my selection tool, so I can click V on my keyboard, click the clip, delete it, and if I press play, that part of the clip is gone. But we do have a new issue now. The issue is it is just a blank black space. So to get rid of that, all you do, again with the selection tool, is click and delete again. So you can actually click those spaces in between clips to delete them, which is a really nice feature. Okay, so that is it for basic editing on Adobe Premiere. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you some cool ways to enhance your edited video using transitions, graphics, and sound effects.